Hey there, it's George Ira Carroll, and you may have heard the story about Walt Disney, and I'm sure you've heard of this man. Was an amazing man, an amazing innovator, amazing visionary, if you will. And there was a story floating around that he actually never got to see Disney World open up. He passed away before the grand opening. So during the grand opening, his nephew Roy Disney was there to field all the questions from the reporters, and so he was answering questions and going through this process and getting ready for the grand opening. And all of a sudden, this arrogant, pompous reporter in the audience asks Roy, he says, "Roy, how does it feel knowing that Walt never got to see Disney World open up?" And Roy just kind of collected himself for a moment, and he said, "Well, on the contrary, sir, he was the first to see it." Interesting, isn't it? Because, as Einstein once said, everything happens twice. First in our imagination, and then in our reality. If you're familiar with vision boards, then you know the power of them. And in fact, if you've had experience with them, you know that you can begin to create whatever it is that you put on that board. John Assaraf is, somebody that I mentor and learn from and model from. And he was on that movie and that documentary, The Secret. And he was telling his story in that movie about how he would create these boards with pictures of images of things he wanted to create in his life. And in that documentary, he tells his story about moving into, this beautiful big place, this big home in California. And as he was sitting in his office with his son was sitting on this box and kicking this box. And he asks his dad, who was John Assaraf, he says, "Daddy, what's in the boxes?" And so John Assaraf says, "Well, they're vision boards." And so he pulls a couple of his vision boards out of the box to show his son, and he starts to cry. Because in that moment, he realized that the house that he put on that vision board 5 years prior was the house he was actually moving into. Isn't that powerful? It gives me chills every time I think about it. But if your vision board is set up and you're ready for 2012, then you know that you've pre-paved your way mentally for 2012. You set up some goals, you've set up some commitments that you want to hit next year. And so I'm going to show you a picture of my vision board. And you can see that it has, my financial goals, my relationship goals, my family goals, and it has everything that I want to create and generate in 2012. And it's powerful because the mind doesn't know the difference between something that you vividly imagine and something that you actually experience. So if you're not registered for the Vision Board celebration, it's January 27th from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. It's only $25. I bring all of the boards and the magazines and the scissors and the glue. I'll bring some wine and some finger food so we can have a little bit of wine as we move through the process. It's an amazing time. And just by going through the process of setting up your vision board, you set intentions for 2012. So register now. There are only a few spots left, and we'll see you on January 27th. Take care, God bless, and happy visioning.